Guten Morgen, day 75, and I am leaving Gravel Springs Hut at 8 o'clock. And got about 14 miles, I think, before I get to a road crossing where I can go into Front Royal if I want to. I don't know if I want to or not. We'll see later. Oh, that Rock Springs Hut, that was the fullest. It had a capacity of 8, but really you could have gotten 12 in there, and we had 12 in there. That was the most packed shelter I've had, I think, since the Smokies. Might be an indicator of things to come in the future. People are starting to seek out the shelters now more and more, so I'm going to have more competition. That's the way it goes. This is a view from South Marshall Mtn. All right, there's just that little tiny sign there saying that I'm leaving Shenandoah National Park. So, yeah, it's been close to 100 miles, I'd say. So, I'm getting close to Front Royal now. So, I need to decide whether to go in there for town food, get my town food fix there for lunch, or wait until I get to Manassas Gap tonight and eat at this little local diner. All right, I have arrived at the Tom Floyd shelter. It's tiny, but it's got a nice porch. Okay, I'm back on my way, leaving this shelter, just signed the logbook. So I don't think I mentioned it, but yeah, a few miles back, I stopped and I called the Wonderland Hiker Refuge. I was thinking, rather than kill time in Front Royal eating at the brew pub like a lot of people are doing, maybe I ought to push through, because this is a real easy trail, try to do a 20+ mile day. And I was going to stay tonight at the Jim and Molly Ditton shelter, which is a really nice shelter, has rocking chairs and a shower, believe it or not. But that would be an little over 18 mile day. I could do a 20+ easy. So in the AT guidebook, at the 23.7 mile mark is Manassas Gap Shelter. It's only a few miles past, 5 miles past the Ditton shelter. And it's kind of weird, but at that mile marker, it said that there was this Wonderland Hiker Refuge, a donation-based hostel. And there was only like one line of information for this hostel, very little information. I only said it was donation-based. And didn't seem to have a lot of, it didn't have little symbols to describe the amenities that these hostels have, and it had relatively few symbols. So it's like, what is this place? So I called them, had a phone number, and left a message. Lady called me back, young lady, by her voice. Said her name was Lyric, which obviously would be a trail name, so I assume she's a hiker. Very pleasant. Says, yeah, she's, it was their anniversary, her and her husband, I presume, and but they're back now, so they hadn't been taking hikers this weekend, but they're back, so they'll take me. And she said, actually, they're at Manassas Gap, not the Manassas Gap Shelter, so the AT guide is wrong on that point. So they're at the, it would be like a 20, just barely over 20 mile day for me. So they're in between the Ditton shelter and the Manassas Gap Shelter. And I said, well, okay, sounds good. Yeah, count me in. And then I called them back a little while later and said, you know, I got a town food craving. Should I go into Front Royal to this brew pub or some other place for lunch? Or, since they're at the Manassas Gap, should I go to the Apple House restaurant and for dinner? And because it appears to be very close to where their shelter is, their hostel. And she says, well, we're cooking burgers for you tonight. I see my first black raspberry. And look right above here. It's a mulberry tree. And it's loaded. I don't know if it comes out or not, but man, it's loaded with berries. All right, I passed the road that takes you into Front Royal, and there actually were a couple of young ladies that were in the shelter with me last night. They're in their car, just waiting for other hikers to show up, offering a ride into town. But I declined. It was 1:30 at the time, and I got about 3 hours of hiking to get to the hostel where I'll have some home-cooked hamburgers tonight. And I kind of got my fill of black raspberries and mulberries. So I found some more black raspberries, man. I just ate some more. They're even more plentiful and plump. This is the time. I mean, if the vines are out in the sun, there's all kinds of ripe ones. So anyway, no Front Royal for me. I'm sure it's a very nice town. I'll put that on my bucket list of places to come back to visit. But I am moving on to Manassas Gap. All right, I have come out on the Jim and Molly Ditton shelter. Wow, check this place out. Got a pavilion here, picnic table. Nice big shelter with a loft. Horseshoes, unbelievable. It's got a spring a little ways down the trail. There's a privy over there. Shower. I guess it's like a solar shower. So that's not the privy, that's a shower. I gotta go check that place out. So this is where I was gonna stay tonight. I was gonna go into Front Royal for lunch and then come here for an 18.4 mile day. Then I decided to press on, get a couple 3 more miles in and stay at that hostel tonight. Super nice shelter though. I'm almost at Manassas Gap, Virginia 55. I've been walking along this boardwalk. It's real marshy here. But this is interesting. I've seen quite a few of these throughout the AT, but this stretch today I've seen more than normal. It's a lot of work. Guten Morgen, day 76, and it's 9 o'clock and I am on my way. I just got dropped off by Scott and Lydia, proprietors of the Wonderland Hiker Refuge. A pretty nice hostel. I need to remember to pay them on Venmo when I get a good signal. So we're starting off with this neat little bridge. So let's get on our way. We're going to try to do 20 plus, I can't remember, something in the low 20s. I think to get to the Sam Moore shelters. I think I'm skipping 2 shelters to get there. So that sets me up for two days, today and tomorrow, both low 20s mileage. Gets me into Harpers Ferry Tuesday night, where I will meet the peeps, my brother and parents. Already got a hotel booked and looking forward to it. It's going to be a nice day today, rain, so it's going to be humid, kind of warm. Tomorrow's going to be a better day, cool, I understand. So looking forward to it. See ya. All right, here's the Manassas Gap Shelter. It's pretty nice. Nice, a lot of seating area. Log cabin style. Cool. Hey, a little anecdote while I'm thinking about it. So, you know, with this Brood X cicada emergence that was all the hullabaloo this year, I never saw a cicada on trail or heard one until yesterday. Finally, yesterday, we hiked north into a pocket where these cicadas have emerged. And we've actually caught the tail end of it. You might not pick up here on the audio, but I hear them chirping right now. So I thought that was interesting that I'm finally seeing this Brood X that everyone's been talking about. All right, later. All right, Whiskey Hollow Shelter, or also known as Dick's Dome Shelter. I'm gonna pass it up. It's 3/10 of a mile off trail. On to the next one, Rod Hollow, I think. I have never seen growth on a tree like that, but they're on a number of these trees around here. That is gnarly. Looks geometric. All right, it is 3 o'clock and I've made it to the Rod Hollow Shelter. I need to sign the logbook and get some water. It's got a pavilion. Sweet. Oh man, the skies just finished opening up, and it was the strongest deluge I've ever been in. And I mean, I had warning, but it's tapering off now. But you see it's still dark, and the trail was just a big mud puddle. But wow, it was really intense. You can still hear the thunder rolling. Yeah, it was a little scary actually. It was really intense thunderstorm. But I hadn't been in that in a long time. In fact, I think that's the worst one. So embrace the suck, they say. I'm soaking wet. It sucks. All right, I have made the 1,000 miles mark. That's pretty incredible. I wish it was under better circumstances. I still got my umbrella on here, but it is what it is. 1,000 miles, yoo! I finally reached a turnoff for the Sam Moore Shelter, my destination for tonight. It only holds 6 people, according to the AT guide. And with this weather, it's not gonna, and as late as it is, it's not looking good for me to get a spot inside, but we shall see. And here we are at the shelter. It does have a pavilion and log cabin construction. So there's a humongous, what I think is a wolf spider, and this is the first time I've seen one with his egg sac, protecting his egg sac and carrying it like that. That is just awesome and ugly. Well, it's 20 after 7 right now, and I'm here in the pavilion eating. So far, I'm just one of 3 people in the whole camp. Only one other person in the shelter, so I lucked out. Just sitting here eating my double helping of ramen noodles with a can of chicken added, and I'll be going to bed here in about an hour. So this is Wagner von Wunderweg. Guten Nacht.